It was the 17th of Ramadan in the second year of Hijra, a day that would forever alter the course of history. The air trembled with anticipation on the desert plains of Badr, where two armies stood poised to clash. One was led by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and consisted of just 313 Muslims, many poorly armed, with a handful of camels and horses. The other, a formidable force of 1,000 Quraysh fighters, vastly better equipped and confident of their numbers. Yet by the end of that day, one thing would become crystal clear. Numbers and resources alone do not determine victory, for the unseen often plays the greatest hand. To understand the Battle of Badr, we must first understand the tension that led to it. Years earlier, in Mecca, the message of Islam had been met with hostility from the Quraysh, who saw the growing Muslim community as a threat to their power and traditions. Persecuted and marginalized, the Muslims eventually left their homes, making the arduous migration to Medina in search of safety and freedom to practice their faith. But the animosity of the Quraysh didn't stop at the city borders of Mecca. They were determined to extinguish this new flame, and the Muslims, despite their efforts to avoid confrontation, knew that a reckoning was inevitable. The spark for that reckoning came from a caravan, a Quraysh trade caravan led by none other than Abu Sufyan, loaded with riches and returning from Syria. Control of these caravans meant control of wealth, and wealth meant power. The Prophet, peace be upon him, foreseeing the economic gain this caravan represented for the Quraysh and its potential to further fund their opposition, made a plan to intercept it. It wasn't war the Muslims were seeking, it was strategy. With just 313 men, many of them inexperienced in battle, the idea was to disrupt the financial lifeline of their oppressors, not confront an enemy head-on. But the Quraysh, upon learning of the Muslims' plans, gathered a massive army to protect the caravan and teach the Muslims a lesson. What began as a calculated interception quickly escalated into what would become a decisive battle.